All right, here's some quick tips that will hopefully help alleviate your Windows 10 driver problems. These are definitely the good first steps, and they're pretty quick and easy. So, right-click your Start menu, go up to Device Manager, open that, down to the Universal Serial Bus Controllers tab, open that, and then just click on each of your root hubs, or each of your USB hubs, go over to Power Management, and ensure that this switch is toggled off for all of them. If you've not done this before, it's probably going to be on for all of them. And even after Windows updates, it usually turns them back on. This causes a lot of problems with USB devices, and you really don't want it on for anything important. I have a ton of them, unfortunately, and you really just got to go through them all and turn them all off. It is usually only the hubs that have them, but you might as well check them all in your system. You probably don't have near as many as I do because you're on a laptop, so I have, I think, 20 USB ports on my rig, so just get on and just check them all. Make sure they're all off. And just keep going down the list right to the very bottom of the USB ports, or the USB serial controllers tab. And you really do gotta go through them all. There is no faster, easier way to do it. Otherwise, I would have learned it better by now. Okay, just keep going down, and right to the bottom. My storage device has one. Turn that off. Root hub. Turn them all off. Again, this switch right here. Turn all those off. Press OK. Exit out of your device manager. Right click the Windows taskbar again. The Start menu again. Power options. Additional power settings. Change plan settings. Change advanced power settings. And disable USB selective suspend for either all your plans or definitely the plans you plan on using anytime you're doing any kind of USB intensive stuff like streaming or anything. So disable that. I disable it for all of them personally, but at least for your streaming plans. And it is going to be enabled in Windows by default. And while you're in here, you might want to also turn off, this is nothing to do with your USB, but since you're in here anyway, it's a hard disk setting here. It's usually set to turn off your hard disk after 20 minutes. If you set that to 0, it won't turn off your hard disk. You probably want to check that if you're doing any kind of streaming or intensive stuff, just for, general good measure. So that should have you running. And if you still have, so restart your computer. So yeah, restart your computer, see if the problems are fixed. If you're still having issues, download and run a program called Device Cleanup from the internet, which will remove all the ghost devices that have been accumulating in your device manager over the months, years, however long it's been since you cleaned them out. Every time you plug in a USB or any kind of device, it leaves a ghost footprint, right? Like you can see them if you go up here to show hidden devices. See all these grayed out ones? These are devices not plugged into my system. And I just reformatted Windows about 4 days ago. I have this many. I mean, some of them are stuff I'm going to plug back in, right? Some of them are my DJ mixer and stuff, but it doesn't matter if you get rid of the Windows will just reconfigure it right away when you plug it back in. But if you have, if you haven't done a Windows cleanup in years or something, you'd have 100 of these things, right? And they can start to cause issues with each other. So you could just go to each shaded out one and go uninstall device, but if you got as many as I did when I did this before I reinstalled Windows, you're going to have 100 of them probably. Take forever. So just download the device cleanup from the internet. And I have it right here somewhere. Just have it on my computer somewhere. Utility app installs. Device cleanup. This is going to be what it looks like right here. Make sure you run the 64-bit edition if you have a 64-bit Windows, which you probably do. Just click it, run it, and let it do its thing. It will delete every single one of those devices that's not connected to your computer. It's a great troubleshooting step if you're still having problems, and then restart Dragon. Hopefully that fixes everything. If your problems persist after that, most likely got a faulty USB cable, or a faulty USB device, or a faulty USB port. Like I had a problem where I had a bad cable, and just plugging that cable in would cause 4 or 5 of my ports, every port that was on that hub, just start going wonky, right? So you got to keep that in mind too. One bad cable can cause all kinds of crazy problems. So there, hope that helps.